welcome back to the Six Pennies podcast. We are all here and we're ready for the end of the NBA season. NBA regular season is finally almost over, so we can finally get to the playoffs. You guys excited?
Finally. Really excited.
It's not the Rock pod.
My bad.
Yeah.
My bad.
All right.
Been watching Rock videos all week, actually, so sorry.
Wow. Well, it's almost award season. NBA awards this year are going to be done a little differently. It's not going to be released little by little. They're going to have an awards show after the finals, which kind of throws a wrinkle into things. But it's still a regular season award for these awards that we're going to talk about today. So we're going to make our picks. We're going to start with the most exciting and debated award of the year, and that is obviously Rookie of the Year. Rookie of the Year, Albie, let's go. Who you got?
Well, you put me on the spot. This has to be... I mean, I wrote down Yogi Ferrell. I think he had a pretty good run there.
What?
He was definitely like leading the Rookie of the Year voting.
But, for like 15 games, right?
But now since, we're... Honestly, I don't even know. I can't even name you 3 rookies from this year. Brandon Ingram, is he a rookie or is it second year for him?
He's a rookie, but he's not
a rookie.
Is Jokic a rookie? The Joker?
No, it's like Jokic's third year.
Third year? Oh, he's not that good then.
Second year.
Porzingis, is he still a rookie?
All right, forget it. Let's move on to Mock. Who you got?
You're angering to me, man.
That's bad, yeah.
Rookie of the Year, I'm gonna go with the homie Dario Saric.
What?
Obviously, it should go to his teammate, assuming health. But with that team, I feel like anytime you can play more than 60 games on that team, it's a win. So, Dario.
That's a really low standard for Rookie of the Year, huh? Just got to play 60 games and like do decently in the last 30 of them.
60 games if you're on Philadelphia. They just
got it.
Bad track record.
I like the homie too, but my vote goes to Malcolm Brogdon in Milwaukee because he's playing like really meaningful minutes. He's a good role player. Normally, Rookie of the Year just goes to like the best like stat padding rookie who's on a terrible team, but at least he's on like a playoff team and is filling a need that they really needed there. So that's why I'm going Brogdon.
Wow, I just checked. I had no idea that they were in the playoff picture.
Yeah, they're like the 6th seed, right?
The East is, that's sad.
That's after losing Jabari too. So does that mean Kidd is Coach of the Year?
Let's move on to Coach of the Year then. Albie, you tell us.
It's gotta be my boy, Mike D'Antoni. He is.
Oh,
wow!
He's your boy now.
His system is a regular season whisperer system. Like he can do. He's so successful, and he's the perfect coach for Harden. And I think he should be Coach of the Year.
Yeah, I like D'Antoni too. Obviously, being a Rockets fan, but for me, I'm actually going to give it to our I-10 rival. I'm going to give it to Popovich. I think he deserves it. Just even for nothing else, kind of just a lifetime achievement award. San Antonio, it's just another ho-hum 60-plus win season, which is ridiculous with all the changes they've been through, losing Duncan to retirement, and like I said before in an earlier podcast, like the casual fan probably doesn't even know half the guys on this team that are playing now. So, give me it to Pops.
That's pretty good. Who else did you have on your list? Because I need some suggestions before I pick mine.
Steve Kerr is up there.
Tyronn Lue.
See?
David Blatt.
Tyronn Lue, did the Cavs win 50 games this year in the East? Because that's pretty bad.
David Blatt, Byron Scott.
So I think I'm going to go with former Rocket Scotty Brooks. I think the Wizards have really outperformed their expectations, close to 50 wins, and he's really been the driving force behind turning around John Wall and turning him more into a superstar. Obviously, that had some health this year too, but I think he's done the most with what he's got. Pop is a great pick as well, and D'Antoni might win it, but I'm going with Scotty Brooks.
That's not bad.
To be honest, I completely forgot Scotty Brooks was still coaching in the NBA. But now
we probably should have done this pod.
Yeah, I remember now because didn't they like sign him to coach the Wizards because they thought they were gonna sign Durant, but then they didn't even get a meeting in the summer?
Yep, that's exactly right. Let's move on to most improved player. For me, it's Giannis. I think Giannis has taken the biggest strides. He is in terms of like his crazy stats. He's the next LeBron. So Giannis Antetokounmpo is my pick. How about you, Mock?
Giannis, I like him. He's still super young, obviously, and he has improved every year. But I think the biggest jump in 2017 was Isaiah Thomas. He proved that he can be the best player on a number one team right now. So that's my pick, and I love him. So it's easy.
Albie, what about you?
So for me, I wanted to pick Harrison Barnes really, really bad. I think he's averaging close to 20 points, which I can guarantee you no one thought he could average 20 points in this league. And he's very efficient.
It's fair.
But with that being said, I think it has to be the Joker in Denver. I think the
nice
triple-double machine as a 5 is just ridiculous, and he's only going to get better from here.
That's fair. All right, let's move on to the big awards. Defensive Player of the Year. I honestly haven't really thought about this award at all until just now, and I think I'm going to go with the Stifle Tower with Rudy Gobert,
nice.
Just because he's really turned the Jazz into a force to be reckoned with, and I think it's all about his defense. Albie, what about you?
So I'm going to second that. I'm going to agree with Timmy. I think that he was a huge snub at the All-Star break. He should have been an All-Star. And then with that being said, he is by far the best protector of the rim in terms of defensive rebounding, changing shots, blocking shots. To me, it's Rudy Gobert, and not even close. Like, please don't say Draymond, Muck.
I think Draymond's going to win, but I don't think he should.
Yeah, for me, I don't care at all. I agree with Gobert, but I don't care who wins it as long as it's not Draymond. But I'm afraid I'm probably going to get my feelings hurt a little bit.
I think it's just a two-man. It's just a two-man race this year, right?
I mean, I think Kawhi is always in the picture too, but Kawhi won the last 2 years, so nobody's going to vote for him again.
Who do you think was the last? Who do you think was the last player that won 3 straight Defensive Player of the Year awards?
Dwight Howard.
Dwight Howard, Orlando Magic.
Sick.
Prime Dwight.
Yeah, that's gonna get Dwight. Nice.
Yeah. All right. Sorry.
Go ahead. Let's get to the big one. This is hotly debated in NBA circles. Most valuable player. Don't know how you guys define it. I want to hear what you think, though. Mock, who is your MVP?
Everyone's gonna say I'm biased, but it's got to be Harden. Like, it's not even close for me. It's James Harden. And this is coming from a guy who has gone completely 180 with regards to Russell Westbrook. I used to hate him. Now I love him. He's like my favorite player now. But I just can't give the MVP award. I can't even consider him because he's 6th place in the West and something like 10th or 11th best record overall in the league. Like, that's just not MVP material.
Who's your second pick?
My second pick would actually be Kawhi.
Whoa!
I think he's had a phenomenal year, and I'm still not a big believer in his offensive game being as good as everyone thinks it is right now. But at the same time, he just brings it night in and night out. He's a machine, and getting those kinds of numbers that he is within that system, like he's not a Harden or a Westbrook where he has a ball in his hands, half the time or the majority of the time. He's getting all these stats within the system and stacking up those defensive stats as well. So it's really impressive.
Man,
what about you?
So Muck, you don't have Russell as 1. You don't have him as 2. So you have Russell Westbrook as the number 3 MVP.
Or is it 4?
I have him as 3. 4 would probably be LeBron, but I mean they both have about the same number of wins, I think. Kawhi, like I said before, like the Spurs this year, Spurs winning 60 plus is really impressive to me. I'm not scared of them in playoffs or anything, but it's still really impressive for regular season.
All right, Albie, what about you?
Yeah, so I kind of agree with Mock. If we did this podcast like 2 weeks ago, I would have said like I would have bet the house on James Harden. Like, I think from a valuable, like, if you take this guy off the team type of thing, type of scenario, James Harden is by far the most valuable because his team actually wins. He does everything on offense. I know Russell Westbrook does, but West, if people watch Westbrook play, he's like just going for the stats. Like, he's not trying to do them in the flow of the game. He's literally just throwing it up and running for his rebounds and stuff like that. Whereas Harden is like they play pick and roll like at every different angle at every different time in the 24 shot clock. Like, he's literally just run. He's like Steve Nash prime right now. He's just like so much better, so much smarter than the defense, and I think it should be James Harden. With that being said, the last 2 weeks, Russell Westbrook has been in like God mode, like 50-point triple doubles, 40-point triple doubles, game winners, all these things that he's been doing. It's kind of ridiculous. But like Mock said, if he were to win, and I think he will win, Westbrook is going to be like the first MVP in 3 to 4 decades, where his team is not like the top 4 seed in their conference and not even a top 10 seed overall in the league. And so if this is going to change the criteria moving forward, then maybe we'll see players that are not from winning teams win the MVP.
So is Westbrook your number 2 though, Albie?
Yeah, it's Harden, Westbrook, LeBron, Kawhi.
Okay. I think all 4 of those players have a case to be made, except for LeBron, because his team won 51 games in the East. That is terrible. I can't believe that.
Man, they still
LeBron
won.
And Kyrie, and they only won 51?
Dang, they still won 50? Yeah, they still won 50? Dang. So good. That's with the switch off.
Yeah.
I don't know if that switch is coming on for that team, man. I don't know.
Real quick, did you guys talking about Russell and chasing stats and all that? So it was really funny because beginning of the year, he didn't want to talk about triple double at all. He kept saying, he doesn't care about that. But I feel like the closer and closer he got to the record, the more blatant he became about it.
Yeah.
Did you guys see the end of the Suns game by any chance last week?
I saw.
I heard about it.
I didn't watch it live, but I had to rewatch it because I heard about it. Yeah.
Oh, you rewatched it? Yeah. So it was on NBA TV, and I was just kind of flipping through the channels, and so I watched the fourth quarter, and they were down so OKC's down 20 points to the Suns, which is embarrassing enough as it is. And at the end of the game, with 3 minutes left, Westbrook needs 3 assists to break the triple double record for the year, and it was so funny. He'd be wide open on 3-point line, but instead of jacking it up like he usually does, he'd be looking for the pass. He'd pass it off, and it was in Phoenix, but the crowd wanted him to get the triple double too, obviously, and the crowd would boo whenever the person he passed it to wouldn't shoot it right away and pass it off, and then the Suns were just not having it. They started intentionally fouling. They started stalling. They started milking the clock. It was just really, really funny to watch.
Yeah, great work by Jared Dudley and the Suns, fouling and guarding everybody except Westbrook. I thought that was really amazing.
Yeah,
shame on the Suns fans though. How can they be booing their own team for trying to stop Russell Westbrook?
It's today's NBA, man.
So to piggyback off that game, I want to change my coach of the year to Earl Watson. That's the coach of Phoenix, right? Because not only did he do this and try to
Devin Booker game,
try to C-block Russell Westbrook, but that Devin Booker game was hilarious. He's
Wait, why was that funny? What happened there?
So that's when Devin Booker went off for, what was it, 70 points?
70?
Yeah.
But he scored 12 in the last 40 seconds because even though Phoenix was
fouled.
Yeah, Phoenix was way out of the game, but they knew Devin Booker was hot, so they would just they'll let him shoot the 3, he'll make it. The game is now 9 points away, but he'll still foul and intentionally foul, and Boston fans are like, what's going on? And it was awesome because he was still going for 70 in a losing effort, and it was so blatant.
Man, I didn't know that. That's awesome.
Yeah, it's definitely a 70 with an asterisk for that one. All right, so you guys both picked Harden one for MVP. Unfortunately, I don't have anything interesting to add because he's my MVP too.
Whoa!
I might be biased.
Yeah.
I went to the Rockets Clippers game the other day, and I mean, he wasn't even trying, but he's still the MVP. Like, well, the game was pretty crappy because I don't know, nobody was really trying. They're like dribbling the ball out of bounds off their feet and stuff. But Harden is the most valuable this year. I think over the entire season, the last 2 weeks he's been like hurt a little bit and hasn't been as good, as dominant. I think that's why Westbrook's going to win, like you said, Albie. But I would have Westbrook still as number 2. I have Kawhi 3 and LeBron 4.
Do you guys think that Harden is still playing because he made the statement of MVPs should be playing all 82 games? Because I think in any other season he would be sitting out right now.
Yeah,
definitely,
I think both of them are playing tonight because of that. Yeah, both of them are kind of have one last chance to make their MVP case. Part of me kind of doesn't want Harden to win it because I think he'd be really upset about it and just destroy everyone in the playoffs, which is what I ultimately want. So
Hakeem
part
Robinson.
2. Yeah, Hakeem part 2.
Yeah, that'd be great.
I'm fine with that too. All right, let's go to the All NBA teams. First team All NBA, I think we'll agree. Well, first of all, we get 2 guards, 2 forwards, and 1 center. We already named our top 4s, which were the same across the board. So Westbrook, Harden, and then Kawhi and LeBron are going to be the top 4 for the guards and forwards. And then we all actually picked the same first team center, which is the unibrow. So let's just go straight to the second team. Albie, why don't you give me your second team All NBA?
Dang, I didn't even have this finished yet. So for me, it's almost like it's almost the entire Warriors team, but I had to change it up. So originally I had Steph, Durant, and Draymond. I put Draymond down to the third team. So to answer your question, is Steph. John Wall, I think he's been playing out of his mind this year, and he's made everyone better on that team. Kevin Durant, even though he's only played, I guess, 60 to 65 games. Giannis, and then Karl Anthony Towns. And that's, I like Cat. I like Towns. I just think that position as a whole is really weak. Like in any other season, I don't think he's a second teamer, but for this year, he is.
But we just all named Rudy Gobert Defensive Player of the Year, yet you have Karl Towns in the second team? I can't agree with that. I have the same second team as you, but just Rudy Gobert instead of Towns. What about Mock?
I have Steph in there in my second team. I think that, and Giannis, and Gobert. So those 3 carry over from you guys, or from Timmy at least. I have Isaiah Thomas in my second team, especially since I have him as my most improved player. I think he's definitely second team material, especially they're going to finish, number 1 seed in the East. That has to go for something. And to finish out my second team, I have Paul George.
Paul George?
Yeah, he's on a really crappy team right now, but he's still performing.
It's not going to be Paul George, man. I'm sorry.
That's not, no way. I would take 60 games of Kevin Durant over 82 games over 100 games of Paul George, to be honest. Come on.
Jeez.
All right, let's go to the third team. My third team is Isaiah, so I do get Isaiah onto the third team. I'll have DeMar DeRozan as my other guard.
Oh,
I'll be happy to hear that. Yep. My forwards are Draymond Green and Jimmy Butler. I think Jimmy Butler's been better than Paul George this year. And then my center, I did not list a center.
Man, you hate when me and Mock have incomplete answers. Now look at you.
Terrible. I guess I'll just go with Towns as my third team center. He's probably the next best center. I can't do Boogie Cousins just because his team was terrible. He got traded, and then his team was also terrible. So
Joker? What about Joker?
He's up there, but I think Towns was just too good for my fantasy team that I can't leave him off.
Okay.
All right, for me, I have the same. I have Draymond and I have Isaiah Thomas. I think you're forgetting about Damian Lillard, man. I think he's.
Yeah.
No, I remember him.
I feel like if Damian Lillard and Steph Curry switch teams, Damian Lillard would still have the same following that Steph does. Like, he can do no wrong. He'll have all these kids wearing his jersey and all that stuff. Because I think they're the.
Oh, they would have went back to back. Yeah.
Yeah. If anything, I think the Warriors, like you said, Mark, would be even better with Damian compared to Steph. Did you guys actually see the game where he scored 59 points this past week.
I saw the highlights. He's on fire.
It's funny.
So
it's funny because he was fouled on a 3, and then he missed 2 of the 3 to miss 60 points.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah.
Oh, that's terrible.
Yeah, and he just like tried to laugh it off, but everyone knew he was pretty sad about it.
Wait, Albie. So based on that argument, so you think Lillard is better than Steph then?
I think at Damian's like lowest, yeah, he's already better than Steph.
Okay, so you have Steph on the second team and Lillard on the third team, and Mock, you too. You guys both have.
And that's only because of team. That's only because the Warriors are way more successul. Yeah.
Okay, who are your forwards again? Did you finish? I forgot.
So I have Draymond Green, unfortunately, and Rudy Gobert as my center. This guy was actually different from you guys, but I think he's like his team is a number 4 seed, right? So I have Gobert and Gordon Hayward from the Utah Jazz.
Oh, nice.
Two Jazz?
Yeah, 2 Jazz. I think they've not only have they made a really steady improvement the last 2 to 3 years with Coach Bill Snyder, but I think they're ready to make a jump in the playoffs, and it could be this year.
I mean Quinn Snyder, right?
Oh, yeah, Quinn Snyder.
And the Jazz are actually currently tied for 4th with the Clippers. We got no love here for Chris Paul. No surprise there, but he's probably the best player that we're leaving out, right? By the way, Gordon Hayward, if he gets the All-NBA team, then he'll be eligible for the Supermax from the Jazz. So that's a pretty big pick from Albie. Mock, who are your third teamers?
Yeah, I didn't even think about that. I have DeRozan in there as well. I'm going to treat DeRozan as a guard/forward. It's probably cheating, but he's my forward. Lillard, and fine, I'll put Wall in there, even though I still don't like him. KD, I put him in here just because the games missed was pretty big. And my center here is Jokic.
Okay. Well, actually, Mock, you had Paul George on your team too, so he's going to get the Supermax from Indiana and stay there and not go to the Lakers. So that's great. Yeah,
that wins for everybody.
All right, so let's close.
I would actually want Paul George in LA.
Why?
Who watches Indy, man?
But we hate LA.
The Lakers.
But
come on.
But they're always on TV, so I actually get to watch Paul George. Right now, nobody watches the Pacers.
The Lakers are always on TV right now?
They're on TV more than Indy.
Oh, wow. I don't get to watch very often, so I don't know. Well, let's close this out with some predictions real quick. This isn't in the Google Doc, but why don't you guys tell me your conference finalists for both the East and the West? Who's going to be facing off in the conference finals for the West? Mock.
This is pretty easy. Rockets Warriors. And Warriors, I hate to say it, but they're heavy favorite this year. Even more than the last couple of years when they had 70-plus wins. This team is pretty complete, and Draymond, as much as I hate to admit it, has become a defensive centerpiece for them. So.
Calm down.
He said it.
I said it. He gets away with a ton of just pushing and pulling and stuff, but that's their biggest weakness. So if teams can learn to exploit that, exploit them down low, then they have a chance and to outscore them. But it's going to be tough. It's going to be an uphill battle.
So you have Warriors Rockets, and you pick the Warriors over them, right?
No, I picked the Rockets. I'm just saying it's going to be tough.
Oh, okay. And you think Draymond is the defensive centerpiece, but he's not on an All-NBA team?
No, that alone won't get you on there.
All right. Okay, Albie, how about you? Who's coming out of the West?
I'm actually really surprised with Draymond's height, how many blocks he gets at the rim.
Yeah,
he actually
it's impressive.
Yeah, it is. Even though I hate the guy and I think he's very overrated on defense, I think what makes him good is his versatility. With that being said, though, he surprisingly meets so many people at the rim, and it's impressive. With that being said, I do have them in the conference finals in the West playing Houston. I think it's going to come down to Game 7. And honestly, in the Game 7, anything can happen, and I'm going to pick James Harden in that case.
Yeah. Man. What a day.
You guys are believers.
What a day.
You guys know that I'm not gonna be able to support this. I would pick Warriors Rockets too. I think the
Okay,
Rockets
that's a
can
start.
take. I think we can take down the Spurs. It's going to be tough though. But when it comes to the Warriors, I mean, you said Mock it's going to be tough. I think it's too difficult with all their weapons and with KD. I think being healthy by that point, I don't think it's going to be possible. I want them to. Trust me, I want them to. I'm just a realist at heart.
I mean, it's like third straight year, and honestly, the person on that team that scares me the most is still Sean Livingston. Like, we have no answer for him.
Yeah, I mean, the person who scares me the most is Kevin Durant.
Nah.
Okay.
All
right.
I mean, they bring Sean Livingston off the bench, but then we can bring off Lou Williams, and it's a wrap.
Whoa! Did you just say we?
Yeah, man.
Yeah, man. Full believer.
I don't know if you're qualified to say we just because you're believing.
Is it pretty crazy that they're gonna have, like, they should have the Sixth Man of the Year award, right? Whether it's Eric Gordon or Lou Williams.
Yeah, it'll be Eric Gordon probably.
And then the runner
is James Johnson a sixth man? Because he's been amazing. James Johnson on Miami.
Yeah, I thought about him for most improved, but I think he started a lot of games this year too.
Oh, okay. He lost like 35 pounds. He's like a kickboxer or something, martial arts specialist or something. It's pretty amazing.
Like
he's what Royce White should have been, right?
Like Tybo.
I don't know what kind, but if he played most of his games as a sixth man, he might have a shot. But yeah, Rockets should have the sixth man award.
I mean, he wouldn't finish ahead of like Jamal Crawford, right?
I guess not. I'm not a big Jamal Crawford fan.
I would say Jamal Crawford is the only one on that team that has balls.
I like it. I like it a lot.
Like, he's the only one. He's the only player willing to take the shot. He's the only willing to dribble the ball down. Like,
you forgot about the truth. You forgot about Paul Pierce.
Paul Pierce is such trash, man.
Didn't you see that forearm elbow shot for
just stop.
15th place? Pretty amazing.
Just stop.
All right, let's go to the East. Let's wrap this up. East, who do you guys have as the conference finalists? Albie, you go first.
Cleveland as my number 2 seed.
And who are they going to beat?
And that means, so they would have to play the 1 and 4, 5 bracket. Who's in the 4th and 5th right now?
Washington, Atlanta.
Give me Washington. Cleveland, Washington.
Wow, no Boston? You don't believe?
I don't believe.
Man, IT is going to prove you wrong. I see the Celtics meeting the Cavs in the conference finals. I still don't see anyone beating the Cavs, so it's kind of a moot point.
Yeah, I'm with you there. I think the Raptors are going to give them a lot of trouble in the second round, but they're not going to beat them. So it's still the Cavs. So,
but doesn't Washington play really well against Boston?
Yeah, they do.
All right, that's all I gotta say.
You want to bet on Washington? Let's bet on Washington.
Oh yeah, you guys should bet.
Let's wait till that round starts, and then if you give me good odds, then yeah, we can bet some meals.
Whoa, you need odds?
Yeah, they're the 4th seed, man.
Hate giving odds to Atlanta with Dwight Howard.
All right, guys. Thanks for joining the Six Pennies podcast. As always, please subscribe on YouTube and like us on Facebook at Six Pennies Podcast.